Hey to the people, what's going on? It's me, Chase, here with Tori B. We have an impromptu happy hour. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, X, as well as Instagram. I was trying to get us to stream on TikTok, but I didn't know how to work it. So we'll figure it out. TikTok, we're coming to you because, we love you guys. But we have a happy hour, which if this is your first time watching us, happy hour is what we do, all of our hot topics and discuss all of the juicy gossip. So stay tuned for all of that. Tori B, how you doing?
I'm good. It's a little nasty out here on the East Coast, but I should say in New York, but we
Okay,
good.
I did it. All right. So the Drew Sidora interview that we did here at No Chaser TV is starting to hit the internet, and it looks like all hell is breaking loose because, as I stated, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm just over exaggerating or promoting, Drew did not hold back in that interview at all. Uh, we talked about music, but we also talked about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and all things Real Housewives. And we also spoke about basketball wise because Ming Lee, who is a friend of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, not in an official capacity, but she's friendly with the ladies on that show, is now filming Basketball Wives. And Ming Lee formerly dated Tai Young, who is on Basketball Wives. And we all know that Tai Young and Drew Sidora have an almost at this point infamous friendship. And yeah, so I asked Drew about that friendship, and here is what Drew had to say about that friendship. And that's I just ooh yeah. So hopefully this is the right clip. Let's see. You think about Ming Lee saying that that was one of the deal breakers was how close you were, considering all of that.
Another person grasping for straws in a storyline is what I gather. Because what else do you have going on? If you have to use my name, because she came over to Real Housewives and she was coming trying. You got glimpses. She was trying hard and it didn't work out for her. So she just went on down there, what I'm saying, down there. And was like, I got to sell. I got something to sell. I got something to say. Listen, she was never around when Ty and I were friends. She was never around. She wasn't around. They didn't know each other. And since, Ty and I don't speak as often anymore, we're still friends and that hasn't changed, but we don't talk as often. It's just been a lot of life happening. So since they have been together, Ty and I have not seen each other. We don't spend time talking. I've been working on a whole album. So
Yeah.
there's not enough minutes in the day that she's explaining that she is, alleging. It just wasn't true. And so, like I say, a lot of people get on these cameras and they feel like they got to say something that is going to get them a moment. And I'm sorry, I didn't know I was that much of that girl. I'm really clickbait. Is that what's happening? But it just wasn't any truth behind it. So, Atlanta, people grab you up and say your name a million times for a moment. And I've never had to do that. I've been in front of cameras my whole life. So it is a little shocking when I do keep seeing this go on and on, even from a year ago.
All right. So the reality rundown posted it, and Ming Lee stepped into. She stopped by the reality rundown to say her piece and what she thought about Drew's comments. And so we're going to pull that up next. Un momento, por favor. Ming Lee says, Ty Young, get your girl, Drew Sidora. You should have just stopped after doing all that lying on Carlos King's podcast. I spared you once when y'all was filming, and some of your cast told me to air your lying ass out. Drew has not responded yet to this, but this was in response to the clip that we just aired from No Chaser TV's interview with Drew Sidora on our podcast. So she's saying that Drew went to Carlos King and lied. I guess she's saying that Drew is lying now with us over here at No Chaser TV. And Ming Lee has clapped all the way back. What do you think about that, Tori B? What do you think about it?
Child. I mean, whether you believe Drew or not, and whether you believe whether or not Drew is a liar, at this point doesn't. I don't think it matters. The fact is that over on Basketball Wives, it's all been about Evelyn and Jennifer. I've only seen one clip of Ming, and that's been of her and Ty talking about Drew. And over on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Drew is all up and through Portia's mouth because she don't have much of a storyline. So I would agree that the girls are really coming for her, and we don't know why. You on a whole nother show talking about Drew. And Ming, I'm gonna be honest with you, unless you got receipts and you ready to drop the receipts to prove otherwise, I don't see the point in you trying to even go back and forth with her. I mean, what Drew said was not a lie. You was trying to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We saw you at the Kenya's event at her hair spa. We saw you there. So unless you produce receipts, I'm gonna be team Drew on this.
Well, I'm not really team anybody. I just think that when it comes to relationships, I don't think that unless there is something that people are going to like produce, it's hard to gauge what exactly happened in someone's relationship, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Reality Right After says on Instagram, we also saw her at Kelly's Balmain event as well. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
she's friends with the girls. She has tested, I guess, for the Atlanta Housewives. I wanted her on Atlanta Housewives. I don't know if you guys remember that. I had no idea that she knew Brit as well. So there were a lot of layers. For whatever the reason, it didn't work out. And I think that Drew was well within her right to respond. But unless, there's something out there that proves Drew to be a liar, I don't know. I'm not saying who's a liar. I'm not saying that Ming's not telling the truth. You know what I mean? I just, Ming clapped back and she is, I guess, well within her right to respond. So I don't see anything wrong with everybody attempting to clear the
Oh,
air in this situation. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I get it. Respond.
Yeah, respond.
What I will say is Ming was also tied up in the Brit Edie of it all too.
Yeah, but Ming
So
said that wasn't true. So, and I think Kenya said Ming had nothing to do with it as well.
right. So Ming just got her up in Ming is up in everybody's teeth.
Well, I mean, maybe Ming's that girl. Who knows? But yeah. So the interview is starting the interview itself. It looks like, right?
Right, but I was gonna ask. So Ty and Ming are no longer together.
Ty and Ming are no longer together.
Okay, this is very confusing, and I'm gonna say this. If you're, I'm gonna say this. If her and Ty are no longer together, why do you care?
Well, because I think don't Ming's name. I asked Drew about about what she thought about Ming saying that um, Drew was one of the reasons why their relationship did not work, and
I
so
get,
that yeah.
I get that part, right? I totally. But if the relationship is over again, because the fact is that
Well, I mean,
the way that they filmed the show.
if the relationship is over, that's one thing. But if someone says that you're using them for clickbait, and you over here trying, then you're over there trying, and now you're trying. I think that she's responding more so to what Drew said in regards to the actual meaning of it all, and not the relationship of it all.
But you
I don't see
tagging
anything.
Ty. I
Well,
listen. I just
I
for
don't
me.
think it's the same thing personally.
Okay, all right.
I
I'm
don't.
just saying personally. Once I'm done with somebody, I don't want to see them. Don't tag me in shit. Leave me out of it. Are you bothered because you tagging Ty in
I
it?
get
And
it, but
I get it. I understand that.
her and Ty on the same cast and they're friends.
I get that part. At the same time, if this was over a year ago that y'all filmed this, and y'all are no longer together. Drew respond. Well, the reason this is all coming up again is because what Ty and Ming filmed was a sit down where Ming blamed Drew. So Drew can respond to that, and which she did.
But did Ming blame Drew or did Ming blame Ty? You see what I'm saying? Because personally, I don't think unless Drew knew that she was dating Ming, that Ty was dating Ming, and Drew was and Drew was like talking, whatever they were doing, during the same time that Ty was talking to Ming, I don't think that Drew is the issue. Drew is just the physical representation of what was the issue between Ty and Ming, and Drew is not the issue with Ming. But then Drew came on the podcast, our podcast, and responded to her name being brought up on another show in relation to Ty. So do you get what I'm saying? Like I hear what you're saying, but unless Drew did something to interfere with their relationship directly, I don't think when I listened to the sit down, I didn't interpret the sit down as Ming blaming Drew. Which is why I didn't say to Drew, how did you feel about Ming blaming you for their relationship? I didn't ask her that. You know what I mean? Because I didn't interpret it as that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And at the same time,
Girl, you heard all of that you said. You're going to say the same thing.
I heard you. No. I'm going to say this. Ty ain't shit. And Ming take that up with Ty. And that's it.
Reality right after says Ming blamed Ty for spending a lot of time with Drew while she was still messing with Ming. So yeah, it wasn't like she blamed Drew. And so I hear what you're saying. I just don't think that is what she was saying, is what I was trying to say. I get what you're saying, like why bring up somebody, if that's the case, but I don't think that was necessarily the case. Go ahead and read what David says here on YouTube.
Ming is using Drew the same way Drew used Dennis for a storyline. I know everyone is going up for Drew this season, but the girl's a bona fide liar. I don't agree with that. Everybody has an opinion. I'm getting frustrated with people saying, oh no, Drew is using Portia for a storyline. Not the case. Drew has no beef with Portia. And if you recall, David, Drew and Dennis are working together on music. I think the storyline was supposed to be, which it still kind of is that Drew and Dennis are working in a business only capacity. So I don't see her using him for a storyline. He is the one spending the money for the beats. He is the one procuring the beats, the music, and everything else. She is not using him. What I would say is Portia getting mad about this Drew and Dennis doing music together when it's not, and trying to make it seem like something more than it is the nasty part. So I don't blame Drew. Drew is handling her business. I feel like everybody else is using her name. And that's the way I see it. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't have to agree with that. But if I'm working with somebody in a business capacity, that's it. And I don't see anything else happening between those two. She said multiple times it's just music, and she's helped him, and he's helped her, go to the booth and get all her frustrations out. A great album came out of it. It's not like we don't see the music. We didn't hear the music. You can go purchase it, right? If we didn't see or hear the music, then I could be like, okay, maybe they got something else going on. But there is a product that is out, and we kind of saw her and Dennis in the studio, and that's what it's been. Have they celebrated? Yes. They've been in the club or whatever, but that's part of business as well too. People do business that way, especially in Atlanta. So I can't say I agree with that.
All right. Before we move on, Reality Right After on Instagram says, now the question is, do we believe Drew had and her relationship with Ty was platonic? Well, Drew admitted that she flirted with her on Carlos King's podcast, but it didn't go any further than that. And I'm not a person that like does that. Y'all know how I was about Stacey and TJ. I waited it out a very long time, did I not?
Yeah, you did.
I don't really comment on those type of things because, child, I just don't do that. But Tori B, do you believe it was strictly? I mean, I think that, in my opinion, if you were flirting, I don't think that's platonic. So, like to me, because I'm crazy, I don't play that. So flirting to me is not platonic.
I agree with you there, but if
you know,
but if it didn't go anywhere, if it didn't go, if y'all didn't kiss, if y'all didn't do none of that, then I don't know.
yeah.
Listen,
Everybody
y'all
has different rules, and
y'all letting Ty get away with being the manipulator of this whole situation. I told y'all Ty ain't shit.
But y'all also have to remember too that every relationship has its different things. And so flirting from one relationship, like in my relationship, I don't play that shit. But Tori B in her relationship, she don't mind flirting because she cheated on her ex-boyfriend.
Chase, stop lying on me.
You did not cheat on your ex-boyfriend. You didn't cheat.
This is why we will never do Love Lagoon again.
Oh, we're gonna have an actual Love Lagoon.
Or do you want me to really pull back what you said, which was
that we're talking about
the boy took your car and he cheated on you, and you went and did what?
Talking about me.
Okay, I don't allow shit.
Unless you're doing the allowing.
Listen, I got my lick back, just like you got your lick back.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I think you're making it up, to be honest.
You said it on Happy Hour. Go run the tape back. He said it on Happy Hour.
There's no tapes. What are you talking about? What did I say?
You said you had a ding-a-ling-a-go. Oh. Because it was a ding-a-ling-a-go, you let the man drive your car, and he was driving your car to go see other niggas. And when you uncovered that he went to go see other niggas in your car, you said, I'm going to get my lick back by getting back with messing with them. And that's what you said you did.
So does that sound like I tolerated it?
I didn't say you did. You said I did. No, that's what you said I did.
Yeah, you tolerated it.
I ain't tolerating nothing.
You tolerate flirting in your relationship because you cheated.
What?
I don't know no more.
How does that correlate?
I don't know. Okay. In other news, unfortunately, Candy broke to us that Aunt Bertha is suffering from Alzheimer's. Here's her emotional message.
The old lady gang, they are, and I don't really feel like it's, I don't know if you discuss things like this. I don't know how. We're having a really hard time because my Aunt Bertha has Alzheimer's. So, trying to manage that. If anybody's ever dealt with somebody in your family going through that and it gets worse, and then everybody is like, it's not easy. You know what I mean? So it's it's a time. It's a time. So I don't mean to get all emotional with y'all. So let me move on past that because I like to have fun on Amazon Live. I don't.
I am so sad to hear that. I love Aunt Bertha like that was my own auntie. And I really do wish the very best for Candy and her family. Like, we love the old lady gang. We have eaten at the old lady gang. A lot of us have met the aunties, Bertha and Nora. And so for me, I really do hate that they're experiencing that. And I really do wish the family the entire best. Aunt Bertha has given us, begrudgingly, by the way, because she didn't want to give it to us, but she's given us some of the best reality television in TV history. We still quote her to this day because maybe it was a scheme that Todd set up to come to you with the bullshit. So like I really hate that. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
I deal with this in my own family, so I know what it's like to firsthand to deal with someone who has Alzheimer's, and it's hard to watch somebody deteriorate before your eyes. So I wish her the best, and it's just a very, very debilitating disease, and hopefully um, they can work through this as a family.
Yeah, I definitely just, gosh, you could hear her voice
Correct.
breaking up in it. Gosh, I really do hate that. I don't, man, that really brought me sadness when I saw it. Um, yeah, it brought me a lot of sadness. All right, give me one sec. Un momento, por favor, as we wrap up. Briefly, while I'm wrapping up, did you hear about Sonia Morgan?
Ciao.
So the tea is that Sonia Morgan, formerly of the Real Housewives of New York and Crappy Lake, as well as the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, was at a restaurant in New York City. And when the bill came, allegedly she thought that the dinner was supposed to be comped, which means free. And they told her no, she was going to have to pay for the dinner. She thought because she had been to the restaurant in the past and dinner had been comped for her that they were going to go ahead and comp that dinner. The restaurant owner in the restaurant said absolutely not. And from there, Lord Jesus, poor thing. From there, I'm trying to get it out. Let me see if I can find it because I want y'all to see it. It's insane, actually. What is her name? Sonia Morgan. From there, there was back and forth about whether or not Sonia was supposed to pay for it. Sonia, I think, initially told them she was bringing 2 additional guests. She ended up bringing 5 additional guests and
Damn.
attempted to have the dinner comp for her. And then, according to TMZ, Lord, I hope that the clip comes up because y'all got to see it to believe it. I can't believe I didn't feel like digging through my archives to get it, so I just wanted to go straight to the source, child. But you never know. Hold on, let's see. Sonya said she was being set up and made to be embarrassed by the whole ordeal. And then all right, there we go. Said she was made to be embarrassed by the whole ordeal. And the next thing you know, Sonia Morgan was getting carried out of the restaurant in an ambulance. I don't know what happened. But people saying she got carried away in the ambulance to avoid paying the bill. She got carried away in the ambulance, and then a couple of days later, she did end up paying the bill in full with a generous tip. The restaurant owner says she is banned and never to return to the restaurant again. Now, Sonia did release text messages showing that she thought that she was invited based off of the text exchange, but the owner has done numerous press appearances saying that she was not invited. So that's just a Sonia Morgan update, child. And what I will say about it is even then, as you see Sonia in the back of the ambulance, this story is more entertaining than the last 2 seasons of The Real Housewives of New York. I don't give a damn what y'all say about it. Hello?
Oh my God. Sonya. Didn't
Sonia
she move to Florida?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
they
think
said
she's
all
coming
of
to
the
the rest of the ladies.
yeah. Bethany said
But she doesn't really speak with them.
somebody said go down there and get a camera and film them and like
Yeah,
and like
Sans Ramona, I would love that.
yeah, like a retired they at this point they the Golden Girls.
I would love to see it without Ramona. I'm being honest.
I think she moved too.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Ramona after the stuff that she's been doing lately. Like
I
Ramona
agree
can
with
miss
you.
me. Bye girl, fly girl. Like we don't have nothing for Ramona at this point.
Child.
Like I'm not fucking with Ramona at all. So disappointed.
I never really cared for her though. Period.
She was great TV to me at one point. She's really shown her ass that last season she was on, as well as just subsequently thereof. Everything that she's done has been a shit show. I'm not fucking with Ramona at all.
No, well.
All right, the last story is that it looks like Dolores Catania from the Real Housewives of New Jersey is going to be filming, allegedly, according to OK Magazine, the new Real Housewives of Rhode Island spinoff. One of the main cast members is actually really good friends with Dolores. And so they're saying that Dolores may rent a home out there and film as a friend of next season, which is now further putting the Real Housewives of New Jersey in further doubt and jeopardy because what the fuck? So Andy was just doing an interview and he said that is the lit. They're not even thinking about it. They're still casting. They're still working on it. No time soon. So what do you think? I personally am just worried about Teresa. I don't care what happens to anybody else. But I think what they're doing is giving Dolores a bone, I guess, because like what's the reason? I don't understand.
Not a fan. I'm befuddled. I am flabbergasted. Like, listen, if you're not gonna bring her back, on the show, why have her film in Rhode Island? I don't know. It's just very strange. I don't know. Like, Bravo, what's happening?
I don't live. I actually wanted to be all new people with no. They may have connections. That's great because that's like cute to have connections to Housewives, the franchise and the universe. You know what I mean? Because Housewives. So that's cute that they know each other. Do I want her on this show so prominently in the beginning? No, I don't.
Here's the other thing. Dolores kind of perturbed me the other day when she handled that situation with Gia and Riley.
Like all wrong, by the way.
As the adult in the situation, I just didn't care for what she kind of said. That is either way, that's somebody else's child, and you know, I don't think Dolores, I don't think you want to see Candy on that.
I sure would like to see it. In my fucking nerves. All right, you guys. So that's all we got. It was just a quick happy hour. We want to go ahead and talk about what happened so far with the interview. If you have not listened to it, you can go to all podcast platforms, take a listen to the interview. It's on Spotify, Apple, Android, and you can also watch the video here on YouTube. It's all over social media at this point. And so we'll leave you with a clip, and we'll see you when we see ya. Think about Ming Lee saying that was one of the deal breakers was how close you were considering all of that.
Another person grasping for straws in a storyline is what I gather. Because what else do you have going on? You know, if you have to use my name, because she came over to Real Housewives and she was coming trying. You got glimpses, you know, she was trying hard and it didn't work out for her. So she just went on down there, you know what I'm saying, down there, and was like, I got something to sell. I got something to say. Listen, she was never around when Ty and I were friends. Like she was never around. She wasn't around. They didn't know each other. And since, you know, Ty and I don't speak as often anymore, we're still friends and that hasn't changed, but we don't talk as often. It's just been a lot of life happening. So since they have been together, Ty and I have not seen each other. We don't spend time talking. I've been working on a whole album. So
yeah,
there's not enough minutes in the day that she's explaining that she is, alleging. It just wasn't true. And so like I say, a lot of people get on these cameras and they feel like they got to say something that is gonna get them a moment. And I'm sorry, I didn't know I was that much of that girl. Like I'm really clickbait. Is that what's happening? But it just wasn't any truth behind it. So people in Atlanta, people will grab you up and say your name a million times for a moment. And I've never had to do that. I've been in front of cameras my whole life. So it is a little shocking when I do keep seeing this go on and on, even from a year ago.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh. I'm joking. I'm joking.